through for seconds.
Yeah, Sharil did a good job there to hold on to second spot. We saw that bike moving around a lot in the entry into turn 10. As you said, Alex, that's where we saw a lot of incidents in yesterday's race. So it is a place where you can make overtaking moves. It's also a place where it can all go badly wrong.
2 laps and 1 sector to go now. We're on lap 10 of 12, a reduced length to this race after a delay due to weather conditions before we could get underway. Race 2, Furusato in front, Daniel Sharil keen to get through. This is where Furusato got round him yesterday for the race victory. Sharil's going to get a little bit offline here, and Gunmia is going to slam it down the inside in towards 15 and 16 and recovers second place, and Furusato again is able to defend that lead.
Second time we've seen Gunmia do that on Sharil as well, so we can clearly see Sharil is struggling into turn 15 to get that bike stopped. But maybe just a little bit of tactics from Sharil as well. It'll be interesting to see if he changes tack in the final couple of laps.
2 to go. Furusato has a 0.3 of a second advantage over Mia and Sharil. These two have got to be careful that they don't fight with one another. We know that Furusato, as he did yesterday, has got a last couple of laps sprint in him.
Yeah, we saw in yesterday's race he tried on the second last lap, the penultimate lap, to open a gap and then leave it with a comfortable gap on that final lap. Wasn't able to do it. Now the key thing for him is this opening couple of sectors. Is he able to open up enough of a gap? We know that the run through 6, 7, 8 and 9, that's where you can use the slipstream and close right up. Sharil's close enough to be able to use some of that toe in the run down in towards turn 10.
Championship situation is fairly straightforward with the 2 riders behind him. If either of them gets through on Furusato, the championship will go another race. But if Furusato stays out in front and takes what will be a 6th consecutive victory of this 2021 campaign, then he will have sewn up the Asia Talent Cup with 2 races to spare, and that's the way it looks at the moment. Furusato has been almost untroubled at the head of the field.
Yeah, he's done a really good job in this race to keep the cool head. We saw the same in yesterday's race, but Sharil is right there with him. Gunmia has now lost a few tenths of a second. He's 0.4 of a second behind Sharil, so suddenly it's left to the top 2 in the championship for most of this season, now battling it out in the final lap and a half.
It is a near repeat of race 1 yesterday, when on the final 2 laps Gunmia, the number 5, got dropped back from the lead duo. These are the top 3 in the championship, and they currently sit in the order that they are in the classification as well. Furusato, who leads it by 46 points over Daniel Sharil. Gunmia 52 points down on Furusato, so would need to beat him to keep his personal hopes alive, and at the moment it's all about Furusato heading his way towards victory. 1 to go.
Yeah, really important for Furusato just to think about where he can defend on the run in towards turn 10. He has been stronger everywhere else around this track all the way through this weekend. He's going to force Sharil to go around the outside into turn 1.
Daniel Sharil, who was more than 0.3 of a second faster than Furusato, the race leader, last time around, gets around the outside into turn 1, and Furusato eases him out, and then there's a bit of a moment for Daniel Sharil coming through the first turn. He's going to have to work harder than he ever has if he wants to beat Furusato, the man of the moment.
Yeah, super riding from Furusato. Forced Sharil to go the long way around the outside down the start-finish straight in the run into turn 1. He's going to have to try and do something similar on the run into turn 10 as well. That's Sharil's best chance to make the move.
We saw Sharil was willing to make the move wherever he could. Yes, no big moment there for Gunmia, and he's gone out onto those big serrated curbs on the outside line as well. So that rules him out of a fight between these top 2 because there's 0.6 of a second already between second and third positions, and Gunmia's got it all wrong there on the final lap. He holds on for a podium position. Sharil to the outside line then as they come in towards turn number 10. Tries to go the long way round. He'll now switch it back. It gives him the inside line for turn 11. Daniel Sharil has thought about this in advance, but he's not quite alongside. Furusato defends the position through turn 12, where Daniel Sharil passed Furusato here yesterday. These two have swapped and changed. They were 0.8 thousandths of a second across the last lap. He holds on for a podium position. Sharil to the outside line then as they come in towards turn number 10. Tries to go the long way round. He'll now switch it back. It gives him the inside line for turn 11. Daniel Sharil has thought about this in advance, but he's not quite alongside. Furusato defends the position through turn 12, where Daniel Sharil passed Furusato here yesterday. These two have swapped and changed. They were 0.8 thousandths of a second across the last. Pretender on the number 21. I don't think he's going to be close enough coming off the final turn. It's a drag race down to the line. Furusato holds on, and Tayo Furusato claims the 2021 Asia Talent Cup with 2 races to spare.
I actually thought Furusato might have gone too defensive there in the final sector. Judged it to perfection. Really good race performance from him. Hongo takes 4th. Thompson's up inside the top 5 once again as the rest of the field comes through to claim the points paying positions.
Yes, Thompson rounding out your top 5. Feardaus, Fujita and Isolation isolated 7th position. Wakamatsu in 8th for Dilla and Dandy rounding out your top 10. But it was all about the top 2 in the context of the championship. We had a very similar race to what we had yesterday. We had exactly the same outcome. A 6th win of the season for Taiyo Furusato.
Yeah, and if you want to see how on the limit Sharil was to try and make the moves to take the race lead, we saw through turns 6 and 7 he had a bit of a moment. We saw on the run into turns 12 and 13 he had another moment. Well, the same story. Very impressive young rider, and we also saw that blinding pace from the start of the season in Qatar, where he was able to win both races by over 9 seconds.
4 second places in a row for Daniel Sharil. He's going to be getting fed up with this. It's all 4 of them that have been less than a third of a second between himself and Furusato. And he's got 2 more opportunities to at least try and take that first victory since his comeback.
Yeah, it has been a really impressive comeback. We talked about it after race. Won't tend to leave the door open for too much.
No, but Sharil's story is only missing that one final chapter, isn't it? Last a winner in 2018. Of course, he had that severe injury to his leg in 2018 and has been on the road to recovery since, and only got back on a bike in August of last year. Really incredible just for him to be challenging for, well, it's incredible that he's walking, frankly, but it's incredible that he's challenging for podium positions in the Asia Talent Cup. Final lap itself, going across the curbs. We're getting an indication of just how high those curbs are, and if you catch them in the wrong position, they're really awkward for bikes, that's for sure. And Gunmir getting...
Yeah, trying to go with those leaders to be able to give himself a chance, and you have to push hard to be able to...
I cannot say a lot because until today, all races...
Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel.